We are here with Ziferblat, who will be representing Ukraine with the song Birds of Prey this year at Eurovision. Guys, welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Danyil, you have a classical background, right? How did you then find your way to more contemporary music?
When I went to the musical school, I learned so much about classical music. But when I started to follow the Eurovision Song Contest, I started to think that pop music is not that easy. Pop music more complicated than I saw. And right now, I'm just trying to understand the system of the pop music. It's an interesting thing.
Can you talk about your songwriting process?
Usually, like me and my brother, we're writing the song for a band, and we're starting with the musical parts, with the instrumental parts, and then lyrics. When I'm writing the song, like I'm using only my acoustic guitar because I can play just like 2 or 3 instruments. It's mandolin, acoustic guitar, and a little bit of cello because I finished my musical school as a cellist. And then we go to the studio and work with our drummer. We're doing arrangement and like this.
Currently, the band is the 3 of you, but there have been different numbers of members over the years.
We created our first band when we were just like 15 or 16, something like that, when we were in school. Our first band included like 4 or 5 members. But after the revolution in Ukraine, I mean the first revolution in 2014, we decided to change something because we were like an English language band. We were like just casual Western band, but we decided to move to Ukrainian language after the revolution. And there was another drummer at this time and another bassist player. Now we don't have a bassist player. Life was so unpredictable, and some of the guys, they were tired about making music. And finally, in 2019, Fedya joined us because we were searching for a better drummer because we were participating in the show called X-Factor.
Speaking of X-Factor, you were mentored as contestants on the X-Factor by Andrei Danilko, who Eurovision fans will know as Verka Serduchka. Can you tell us what that experience was like?
X-Factor, it's not about lessons or trying to be helpful by jury. It's like
Right,
a picture. Right. Yeah, you see a picture. It's just surreal. It's not true. We just met each other 2 times in my life and nothing else. But he's a very talented artist, and in Ukraine, it's a huge artist who inspired a lot of musicians. Maybe not me or my brother, but
I think he's the first travesty diva in the Eurovision, and the first girl pop artist.
For sure. I'm not a huge fan of Danilka, but I appreciate.
Moving to your album, Metamorphosis.
It's just about us, it's just about our growing as musicians, because we were like a weak band. I mean, our first EP was not too good. In 2017, we released Kineseance. It's translated like cinema show. People were saying that it was not that bad, but we weren't happy with this one. So we decided to change the musical style. So we decided to call it Metamorphosis because of these changes. And I can see that the first 4 songs of the album and the last 6 or 7 songs, they are like different because we are starting with the first song, Disco Funk Therapy, is just a dancing track, and then we are moving to something more complicated.
We were going to ask about that. Yes, it starts with Disco Funk Therapy, but at the end, can you talk a little bit about Zimra? Both the inspiration for the song and the process of making it?
Yep, of course. Thank you for your questions, because every time we're making an interview, they're asking us about how did you get your name of the band or something like this. And I like these questions about songs,
Good.
Yep, thank you so much. And Zimra was written earlier than other songs because we released it as the single at the very beginning of 2022. For me, it's one of my favorite works. Our works, and it's based on the Ukrainian book called The Earth, and it's about the ground, it's about the earth, it's about motherland, it's about losing your ground. But what is most interesting thing is that it was written in 2018 or 2019, before the full-scale invasion started.
Our song.
Our song. Zimra was written before, and we predicted some actions.
Can you then talk about the role that producer Serhiy Lyubinsky played in shaping the album's sound?
Wow, you're surprising me, guys.
Wow.
You're so deep into our music. Okay, when we were 20 or 21, we decided to find someone who will improve our music in the studio version. And then I found Serhiy. He has a studio in Kiev. It's called Rivet Sound. And he was working with a lot of artists. For example, a big artist, Ukrainian artist. The band is called Vivian Mort, and it's one of my favorites Ukrainian bands. So we started to work, I think, in 2018 with our first song after Kinesense album was released. It was called Вночі. We participated with this song in X-Factor. We had demos of Metamorphosis of this album, and we needed to make quality.
Guys, I'm here. Your questions even more complicated or beautiful, I mean, than Ukrainian journalist questions. That's true. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's incredible. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Your music is great. We really love it. So, but you mentioned this before. Metamorphosis took years to develop, and when you started, it was before Putin's latest war in Ukraine. So the situation has changed drastically between when you started the album and when you released it.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what that was like?
Because the album was already done by this time. It was already done, I mean, in 2021, something like this. And we weren't ready to release this. We didn't know when to release it. We were waiting for a good time. And then full-scale invasion started. And we, immediately we thought, oh, it's the right time. Because feelings that album is making for us, I can say this about the war, but it's about losing something. It's about change. It's about stuff that won't never happen to you again. So, after releasing 3 singles, we finally found the label to release the album. And in April of 2023, finally we released the album. That's 3. We released it in the 7th of April 2023. 2023. Release the album. Yeah. Sorry for that, guys. Yeah.
They kind of set up your next question, Charlie.
They really, yeah. So you two are obviously brothers. What's it like being in a band together? What are the positives and negatives?
We're twins, and the band, it's what keeps us together. There are a lot of difference between us. We're different guys with different lives, with different point of view on a lot of things. So, it's hard, but we have Fedya, our drummer, and he's always like the arbiter. He's always like a judgment for us. Yeah, he's always in the middle.
The first time you guys entered Vidbir was with Place I Call Home. Can you talk about the decision to write that song in English?
Because it was our first attempt and we didn't know what to do exactly. I was like a big Eurovision fan from the childhood, and my experience was saying me that you need to do something in English because it's for the European audience, and they won't understand the Ukrainian one. And I thought that will help us, but I didn't think about our Ukrainian audience because they weren't that happy as we were. Because they understood the message, but they were writing stuff like, guys, it's cool that you have an English language song, but what about Ukrainian? We need to show our culture. And to be honest, maybe in some ways they were right. So after we took the second place, I decided to add the Ukrainian lyrics, of course, and Ukrainian choir, because I wanted to show our roots, our Ukrainian roots.
What would you say you learned about yourselves as a band from that first Vidbir experience?
Indie bands, they are not ready for the contests like this because they're just chilling and want to stay alone without talking to another participants because they don't like them. And that's how we were working at our first participation. We didn't communicate with the other artists, and we didn't make a lot of TikToks. You need to do a lot of things that you don't like, but it's necessary to do them.
The voting app obviously went down that year at Vidbir.
It's happened again. This year, when the televote started, it broke down again for like 10 minutes or something. And we were like, oh, again. But then they repaired it. One guy from an organization that is organizing the national selection, he came and said, like, if the app won't be repaired, then we need to go just with the jury votes, And as you know, we won by the jury votes. So if they made such a decision, we could be a winner like the last year. To be honest, it is good like that they decided to go with both votes because Alena and Jerry Hale, they deserved their winning because the song was famous. It was popular even before they won. Of course, I was like sad that we didn't make it to the final, but Alena and Jerry Hale deserved it more.
Can you talk about the meaning behind Birds of Prey and how the musical choices, like the use of the bandura, support the song's message?
I wrote the song just like using my acoustic guitar sitting at home. I mean, you just said bandura's part. Like I was playing it in my acoustic guitar. There's a band called Secret Garden, and they have an instrumental song. It's called Elan. And the intro is, it's not the same, but it's a close one. And then I whoa, it will sound better with the bandura, with Ukrainian national instruments. I wanted to make something that will show our roots, Ukrainian roots. So bandura, national choir, everybody, when they hear our song, they can understand, whoa, this one is from Ukraine.
You've mentioned Pink Floyd's Sheep as one of the inspirations. Can you talk about that? And,
yeah. Because it has not similar but close to rhythm section. It's a tun dun tun dun tun dun. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Pink Floyd. I was not trying to make something similar with the Sheep, but Animals, it's a great album, and Sheep, this instrumental part in verses, I really like it.
With the revamp of the song, you brought on Anton Chilibi, and part of the conversation was about bringing in elements that might resonate with the Eurovision audience. How do you balance staying true to the original inspiration of the song while also developing it so it works in the very particular context of Eurovision?
The main goal to do a revamp was just to make something that Eurofans will like, because I was reading the comments and I saw that the song is too much complex to understand from the first listening. So yeah, we decided to make a revamp, and we asked Anton Chilibi, who made a Jail Hale song, Teresa Maria, and he made a winning song, Kalush song. Yeah, he done a great job, and we wanted to add the orchestra, and he did it, and he did some unpredictable pauses. He made the outro more epic. So yeah, I'm very happy with, and he didn't change the song a lot, so that was the main goal, to add some interesting parts, some hooks, but not to make it worse, So yeah, I'm so happy with it. Yeah.
Finally, Putin's invasion is still in full force right now. So what message do you hope to deliver to the world or to Europe as Ukrainians at Eurovision?
We're very thankful for the support that every nation is doing for us, because we won't stay that long without this support, because the situation is getting harder and harder every day. We're staying abroad right now, and we will return in 5 or 4 days in Ukraine. And I'm sure that when I will return the first night, I will have an Air Force alarm, of course. It's just the same. It's like a routine every day. So we're asking for support. We know that it's hard. You know that a lot of people are tired from us, but we are part of Europe, and we want to be a part of Europe, and we are protecting the rest of the world from this disease, called Russian Federation. So please continue to support us, and that's the main thing. That's much more important than just Eurovision or something like that. And thank you guys.
Thank you guys. This has been really, really lovely. And we cannot wait to see you in Basel.
Yes, thank you so much. All the mysteries of the Euroverse.